The Gemara starts, Ha'isha Shenerga. You see there's two dots on Zion and Bais. You see that? Ha'isha Shenerga. V'chulu. Woman that was killed, we said that you're allowed to use her hair. Nen and Basara. Gemara asks, Va'amai, why are you allowed to use her hair? Yisuri Hananinu. You see it?
No, I didn't see it. It's the one that is John.
What does it mean? They shave her head to use it for shaving?
Yeah, 1 second, we'll get to it. The Isha, it's not to the last word online. It says, V'amai Yisuri Hananinu. The Gemara learns that you're not allowed to have any benefit from a corpse. How do we know that? It says, Vatama Sham Miriam died there, and also says by the Egla Rufa Sham that they would break the neck of a calf. If someone died in between cities, and they didn't know how he died, so they would break the neck of a calf at that spot. And it says, just like the calf you can't have any benefit from, so too, but Tamasham Miriam died, you can't have any benefit from a corpse. That's what the Gemara learns. It means you can't start taking parts of the body off the corpse and making some business out of it. There's some benefit.
I call it donating organs from a dead person.
So there are halachic ways of doing it, but some ways are not halachic. For pekuach nefesh, it would be different, but for research, it's not, and other things. It's too far removed. So the Gemara asks, why are you allowed to have benefit from the hair? So Amarav by Meres Tinusar Labiti. It's because the lady says, before she dies, she says, give my hair to my daughter. The Gemara asks, that makes it allowed because she said so. Let's say she would have said, give my hand to my daughter. They would have taken off the hand and given it to her.
Does all this play into donation of organs?
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's just much more complex. It does play in. So Amarav b'pei nachris. Rav says that we're talking about a shekel. Now, Rashi explains that the shekel here is actually extensions. Hair extensions. They would tie to each hair, they would tie other hairs. More hair.
Why does he?
Maybe because the Gemara later is going to say there's two different types.
This is a big issue in Shabbos, isn't it?
About walking out with, about carrying?
The hair things that are tied on.
Yeah. If they take it off to show it.
Yeah.
So, you can just imagine a lot of schmoozing going on while they tie these things on. You know, in the hair, in the salons where they do the stuff, they just schmooze for hours while they braid.
Doesn't it become like part of
it? Could be, I don't know. Unfortunately. So, time adamra tenu. So what's the reason why it's acceptable? Because she said, give it to my daughter. Halayamra tenu. But if she doesn't say give it to my daughter, then gufa, who it's considered her body, umitzar, and it's forbidden. The Gemara asks the question. 1 second. What did we just say here? We said that if a woman passes away and she says, give my hair to the daughter, if it's a sheitel, if it's extensions, then it's acceptable. The Gemara says, 1 second. This was a question that we asked Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina, that Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina asked. Let's say there's an Ir Nidachas. This is a city where people worshipped idols. And everyone's supposed to get killed, except for the people that are innocent. But even the people that are innocent, their money is burnt. So they walk out of the city, arumais, naked. They walk out of the city. They're saved, but not their money. And over there it says, what is the Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina asked? What about this hair of the women? Can they take this out? So, which means he's not clear if this is part of the body or not. And we could have answered Then what do you mean? It is part of the body, because if she doesn't say, when a woman's passing away, if she doesn't say, give it to my daughter, then it's considered part of the body. We have an answer. Why did Rabbi Yisrael have a question? We shouldn't have a question. We know the answer, that it's not supposed to be taken off her, when in other cases we see it's part of the body. And Rava said that it's talking about peyanachris, it's talking about the sheitel or the extensions. The Gemara says, the peyanachris can be Eily. Oh, I'm sorry. The peyanachris loy can be Eily. You have to read it like that. That if it comes to the extensions, so then it's not a question. Tali b'sichsa means it's attached by a peg. It must mean that there's some sort of glue or hair clip that attaches it on. Yeah, leave it here. Demonstrations.
Soon you'll find out why.
Hacha de mechaber ba. But over here, we're talking about where it is actually attached. But it's tied on. So, what are we left with? That taima da'amar tenu. The only reason why it's considered part of why she's allowed to take it off, why the daughter's allowed to take it, is because the mother said, give it to my daughter. Halayamar tenu. But if she doesn't say tenu, then it's gufahu a mitzvah. Then it's part of the body and it's forbidden. So what are the two cases over here? One is the type of sheitel that's attached with glue, and one is extensions. The glue or the peg is a question, Rabbi Yisrael's question. The extensions is part of the body. Is that how he concludes here? Since the hairpiece is hanging on a peg, it is still debatable whether or not it's deemed part of her body. Okay. Kasha le Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak has a question. We said that a woman that dies, or that's killed, you're allowed to benefit from the hair. An animal that dies, it's forbidden. An animal that's killed, it's forbidden to have benefit from. That's what we learned. So we had a contrast between a woman and an animal. The woman, you were allowed to have benefit from her hair. The animal that's killed, you're not allowed to. Okay. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak has a question. We said it's similar to an animal. Ma hasam gufa, afachanami gufa. Just like over there, by the animal, what are we talking about? The actual body of the animal you can't have benefit from. So too by the woman. It should be the actual body of the woman or the hair of the woman, not a sheitel. Or else you don't have a contrast. Listen to the contrast. The animal, you're not allowed to have benefit. The woman, you are allowed to have benefit. By the way, we're talking about the sheitel of the woman. So how did you just make that contrast? If by the animal we weren't talking about a sheitel. So you can't make a contrast when you don't have all the variables are the same. If the other variables are different, what are we comparing here? The Gemara says, Alam Rav Nachman, it's probably Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Let's see, Gimel. It doesn't say anything. It's a little funny because the question was from Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak.
Over here it says Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak in the notes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak is down here. It's under Rava. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak has a question. The Gemara says, Rav Nachman explains, and it goes back 2 generations. Something's funny. Rav Nachman is not answering Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak's question. He may ask the question and he could answer it. But if he asked the question, how's he didn't even know the question. Well, not that he didn't know it, but he wasn't there when the question was being asked from him. So he's saying that in the notes they added it. That Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak answers Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak's question. He answers his own question. So you have to just edit the Gemara. That there's a difference between the forbiddenness of the animal and the forbiddenness of the woman. The forbiddenness of the animal is because in court there was a verdict that this animal needs to be put to death because it killed a man. That psak halacha makes it that you can't have any benefit from this animal. The forbiddenness of the woman is that this woman, whatever sin she committed, the psak halacha, or the bezdin that says that she needs capital punishment, does not make her forbidden from having any benefit from it. What makes her forbidden is the death. So one is the verdict and one is the death. Now, when it comes to the hair, there's not much of a difference between the hair of a person that's alive or that's dead. You don't see that contrast. So therefore, it goes like this. That the hair of the woman is really permissible because it's her death that makes her body forbidden, and there's not much of a difference between the hair while it's alive and dead. However, we're not when it comes to the animal, it's not a life and death transition that makes the prohibition. The animal is forbidden even when it was alive. Everything is forbidden. Therefore, the hair is also forbidden. When it's a transition between life and death, so then we're looking for what changed. Is the hair now dead? And we say, well, it wasn't really alive before either, so there's not much of a difference. We say the hair is permissible. What's happening here is that Reb Nachman Bar Yitzchak is saying that you don't have to translate this whole thing as a shaitel. We said before it's talking about a shaitel, that's why you can have benefit. It's not so. Really, it's her actual hair you can have benefit. According to the way Reb Nachman Bar Yitzchak. You can cut off the hair.
Yeah, but if the mom
Your mother
said that I'm not giving it to you, like if she like you said that if she says that I'm giving it to you,
right?
Then it's not considered hair.
Okay, that's
so
what we said, right?
She doesn't say I'm not giving it to you, so how's she gonna get it?
So we have two answers. Here's what we're doing. We're saying the first answer, very good. The first answer was from Rav. Rav says that the mother says, I'm giving it to the daughter, and that's why the daughter's allowed to take it. Why is the daughter allowed to take it when the mother says that? Because it becomes as if it's separated from her body. And after she dies, you can't have benefit from the body, but because the mother instructed that it should be given to my daughter, that means it's as if she separated it from her body. And we're talking about that it was extensions. It wasn't really her hair. So how do you view the extensions? Is part of the body or not part of the body? So when the mother says that give it to my daughter, it's as if it's not part of the body anymore, and therefore you can have benefit. That's Rav's answer. Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak's answer is different. He says that the hair is really never forbidden. Even the actual hair. And it doesn't matter what the mother says. That's Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak's answer. He says that the hair is not one of the items that become forbidden when the person dies. Only the actual body. So now it says like this: Tanya Levi Kavasei Rav. Tani Levi Kavasei Rav. Tani Levi Kavasei Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. Levi is a student of Rabbi. He's an early Amira. Maybe it's on the page. It's on this page over here. Levi is right over there. Levi taught a brisa that fits with Rav. That means we need to be talking about a shaitel or extensions. And then he also has a brisa that fits with Menachem Bar Yitzchak. Tani Levi Kavasei Rav. The brisa that fits with Rav goes like this: a woman that's taken out to be killed, and she instructs, give the hair to my daughter, Neisnin, then you give it to her. But Mesa, but if she dies, I guess without the instructions, a Neisnin. Because a corpse is forbidden to have benefit from.
It's only for executed woman or a regular death by a...
It's interesting. It should apply to both. It should apply to both. even though the case is by execution. But I don't see the difference. No. The Gemara asks Pshita, why do you say because a corpse is forbidden? We always know that. It must mean not that corpse is forbidden. The noi, how do you translate noi? The jewelry, the jewelry. Is there a better word for it? Noyames, rather adornments. Okay, same thing. The adornments of the corpse are forbidden. Okay, that's a proof to Rav that we're not dealing with the actual hair. We're dealing with something that's attached to her. Tani Kavasei Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, a brisa that supports Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Ha'isha shemesa, a woman that dies, nen and besara, you can have benefit from her hair. Behema shenerga, but a woman that's killed. You see here we have. You see this, Jimmy? Here it says shemesa. It doesn't say shenerga. It doesn't say that was executed. It's interesting because now it switches. That it seems like there's no difference. But an animal that's executed, asur b'hana, is forbidden to have benefit. Ma'hefresh bin zel lezeh. What's the difference between this and that? Zu misasei sarta. This one, the death makes it forbidden. That's the woman. And zug mardinai sarta. In this one, the verdict makes it forbidden, and therefore the hair is forbidden on the animal, but it's not forbidden on the woman, because when it comes to the death, we're looking for something that changes in the transition between life and death. And hair doesn't change in that transition. So therefore, we don't put the hair into the forbidden category. It's only the body that's forbidden. But however, the animal, it's not just transition between life and death that makes it forbidden. It's the verdict that this animal has to be put to death. And therefore, we're not looking for something that switches between life and death. And therefore, the hair could also go into that category.
She's forbidden already when she's alive.
No, but you can have benefit from her. She can cut off her hair and make a sheitel or something. The animal is forbidden, right, when it's alive, and therefore the hair is also forbidden. Right. Hadron halacha kol marichin b'li neder. Means we'll return to this parak.
7 years.
Amen.
What's 7 years?
Like,
It takes around 7 years to get back to it. So.
What? 7 years after.
Mashiach comes, we'll zoom through it.
But the sheitel for herself is forbidden.
Her own sheitel?
When she's alive.
What do you mean it's forbidden?
The woman cuts her hair, can she make a sheitel for herself?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, you're asking if that's considered a separate hair, someone else, if that's considered other hair. That's a good question. I don't know the answer. Can a woman use her own hair as a sheitel?
She can use someone else's.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that being a machlekes. Okay. Ein ne'arachin pachas misela v'la yasser al chamishim sela. V'la yasser, is it v'la yasser al chamishim sela or v'la yasser al chamishim sela? Okay. When it comes to Erachin, the smallest amount possible, when someone pledges someone else's value to the temple, the smallest amount possible was 3 coins. But if the person can't afford whatever he pledged, whether it's 3 or whether it's 50, there is a smaller amount. If he can't afford it, that's 1 sela. The largest amount.
Erachin is estimate, right?
It's an estimate, but what it really means is that when someone says erki olai or erkai olai, that means I'm accepting to give that money to the temple. He's going to give based on the person's age to the temple. So if it's a boy, in between,
the word Erachin is estimate.
The word Erachin means estimate, but I don't want you to think that it's really an estimate here. It's not an estimate. It's a value. It's a value of a person based on his age. Estimate means like it's around 100. That's not what we're talking about. It's not around.
Value.
It's a value. So the most that it could be is 50. The smallest that it could be is 1 coin if the person can't afford it. Keitzad, what's the case? You just came exactly mamash at the new Mishnah, the new Perek. Nasan Sela, someone gives one coin, because he was very poor. That's all he could afford. He was Yaitse.
For what? For his Erachin?
He said, Erki Eily, whatever. However, whatever age he was, even if he was in between 20 and 60.
Who made the Erachin of him?
Him himself. He pledged. Who's pledged? Who's the object of the pledge? Who's the one that he pledged? Either himself or someone else. It doesn't matter.
Don't you do Erachin by
age? You do it by age.
Yeah, but you could do it yourself.
You can do it yourself. You can do someone else. Whatever you're in the mood of. You could say, I'm a good guy. I should pledge my own value. You could say, this guy is a good guy. I'm going to pledge his value.
I guess adjusters were already there. It's not just
And not much changes. Yeah. Or as much as it changes, it stays the same, right?
What's the incentive a person says, I'm going to give myself and it's going to be a seller? Just say, hey, you're giving a seller. What's the whole big deal?
No. He wants to give his own value. He feels some gratitude or something. He wants to give something, so he says, okay. So he says, I'm going to give my value.
And
my
value
erech.
is one seller.
No, really his value is based on his age. The only thing is, when it comes to giving, it could be 50. It could be as a child, and it's only 3. It's only 5 if it's a boy. Comes to paying, and it turns out, this is the sheitel. It would be permitted, but the Mishnah Berurah cites.
He gets the motorcycle.
I see.
It's always a little machlo.
So,
Jews opinions.
excuse me. When it comes to paying, he can't afford it. You follow? He can't afford it. So he's yaitze because he can't afford it with just one seller. So nothing seller if he gave one coin behesher, but then he gets wealthy. His business goes up. Ain't a nice and klum. He doesn't need to give more anymore because he was already yaitze with his old pledge. Achis misela. Less than a seller. He gave because he couldn't afford. Then behesher and he gets rich. Nice and chamishim seller. He has to pay 50 coins. You follow? He wasn't yaitze. He didn't give enough. Hayu biyad of chamish laim. Let's say he has 5 coins. We're gonna have a machlekes here. He has 5 coins and he owes 50. But he's poor. He only has 5. Rameir eina nice nela achas. Rameir says no, you only give 1. And b'chachamim nice neskulim. The chum say no, you give all 5. The Mishnah concludes eina erachin pachas misela v'liyasal chamishim sela. Erachin doesn't have less than a sela or more than 50. Now that is repetitive. And the Gemara is going to ask that. And the Gemara is going to explain that this is the opinion of the Chachamim that say that you don't have less than a sela, you don't have more, but you have everything in the middle. As opposed to in the introduction, we weren't discussing the middle. See, because it's the same line is repeated twice, mamash the same words. Zok the Gemara says, Ein erachin pachas misela, erachin can't be less than 1 coin. Minolan, where do we know this? The Ksiv, it says in the Pasuk, V'kol erkecha yeh b'shekel HaKodesh. All your erachin should be with the shekel HaKodesh. That means 1 coin. Kol erachin shata marach leyibchus mishekel. All your erachin that you value should not be less than a shekel. V'la yesral chamishim slaim, the Ksiv chamishim, it says in the Pasuk. Okay, we learn it clearly from Sukkot. Hayu biyad of chamisha, let's say he has in his hands 5 coins, and he can't afford any more than that, and he owes 50. So machlekes Reb Meir and the Chachamim. Reb Meir says that you give 1. The Chachamim say that you give all 5. My time with the Reb Meir. Why does Reb Meir say that you give 1? He has 5 coins. Ksiv chamishim, ksiv shekel. It says 50 and it says 1. What does that mean? Oy chamishim, oy shekel. Either you give 50 or 1. You don't pay anything in the middle.
So if you have 10 shekel, you don't give 2 shekels. You still
Yeah.
give 1.
Yeah, if you're supposed to, yeah. In other words, this is sort of like brackets. You know, you fall under a certain bracket. If you have under the amount, you're down to 1. That's it.
Wow.
The Rabbanan say no. Hahula kol erchin shatamarach lo yibchus mishekel. That pasuk that you said that says shekel, that just means that you can't give less than a shekel. It doesn't mean that you don't pay up as much as you owe. Hudasa, that's what it's coming to tell. You have to Ella, right. Ella heicha de Islay, where he has the money. Amar Kra, the pasuk says, "Ashetasi yada neider." You pay as much as you're able to afford. And that's what he can afford. He has 5 coins. He should give all 5. Rab Meir says that pasuk Ashetasi yada neider, as much as the one that took the vow can afford. Rab Meir says Ahu yada neider v'la yada nida. That's the value of the one that pledges, not the value of the one that's being pledged. Every once in a while, we have these things that maybe by kaifer, by different things, you don't pay your own value, you pay the other person's value. The pasuk says no, it's your own. It's as much as you can afford, not what the other guy can afford.
Why would you think it would be what?
So the Rabbanan say, the Rabbanan say, we understand both of these things clearly from the pasuk. These things are the obvious things that the pasuk is saying. You don't. Reb Meir is coming along and saying that no, we're already using this pasuk to teach me a chiddush. The Rabbanan say that's not a chiddush. That's clear in the pasuk. Yeah, I don't have a pshat. What's Reb Meir thinking? Reb Chaim is asking. I don't have a better explanation. I don't know. Amar Ravada Barava. Ravada Barava is a very interesting case. Hayu biyadav chamisha slime. The way, just to remember the significance of Ravada Barava when it comes to writing names. When you give a name, so if you give a name in Hebrew, so it always ends in a hey. If you give a name in Yiddish or in another language, it always ends in an aleph.
But you said one time, Rabbi, that the hey is from Eretz Israel, the aleph is from Babel.
I don't know, but Hebrew gets a hey. In any other language, it gets an aleph at the end.
That's because I'm exercising.
What do you mean the name?
So, for example, if I have the name Chana, it ends with a hey. I don't write Chesed and Aleph. The Hebrew names all end in a hey. But let's say I write. No, I'm saying if it ends in if there's a vowel at the end that's not finished off, it doesn't end in a consonant. It ends in a vowel. So, but however, any Yiddish name is always going to end in an Aleph. Or any other, if there's an English name, you're going to end it with an aleph. Ashkenazim when they write Florida, they write with an aleph at the end. This is Ashkenazic tradition of writing. So Florida's with an aleph. In the Sephardim would write with a hey, right? With Ashkenazim write with an aleph. Florida.
Apple is with an E. E for apple.
It's funny. So, but it says Rav Ada bar Ava. Ava ends with a hey, and Ada ends with an aleph, because Ava is a Hebrew word and Ada is an Aramaic word. Okay. So Ravada Barava is an interesting thing. Hayu biyadav chamish slime. Let's say someone has 5 coins. V'amar erki alai, v'chazav amar erki alai. He said it twice. This is like do not click twice. You know, on the thing it says because you get your purchase twice, right? It says only click once and be patient. Don't. He did it twice. Now he owes twice. Problem is he has 5 coins. He probably owes more than that. Nasan arba l'shniya ve'echad l'rishayna. Let's say he pays up his second pledge with 4 coins, and he gave 1 coin for his first pledge. Yatsa yedei shteim, he was yaitza both. What's the difference if he's yaitza? The difference is if he then gets wealthy. If he wasn't yaitza, he has to pay all 50. If he was yaitza, he was yaitza already. He's done. He's been absolved of his obligation. My timer. What's the reason why he's absolved? If someone has 2 creditors, 2 people that he owes money to, and one of them he owed money from last year, one of them he owes money from this year, who's he supposed to pay first? Well, last year's, it would be logical he should pay the old guy. He's been waiting longer. But let's say the new guy is more aggressive, and he comes along, the guy that he just lent it to, and the new fellow that he owes money to comes along and takes the money. Mashagava gava. What he takes is taken. He owes it to him also. He collected. However, at the time that the second one took, there was an obligation to pay the first one. And bi'idna diyav l'rishayna sulesle. But at the time that he has to pay up the first one, he doesn't have any money left. So when the second one takes 4, what he took was taken, and it's accepted. The first one that he owed originally, got 1 coin, and he doesn't have any more money, so that's it.
I have a problem. If the second one is stronger, he comes and takes. Let's say he owes the second one 50. Let's say he's worth 50, but he only has 5 coins. Why would the second one not take 5?
Problem is, he can't take all 5 because there's an obligation to the first one. So he's just leaving. He's leaving that 1 coin there. That obligation to the first one is still there, and it has some precedence over him. But nevertheless, he was able to take those 4. Look at the next case; it becomes a little clearer. Nasan Arbal Rishayna. We're on top of Daf Ches. If he gives 4 to the first one, v'achas l'shniya, and 1 to the second one, Yidei Shniya Yatza. The second one he was Yatza. But Yidei Rishayna la Yatza. But he wasn't Yatza the first one. Why? Because the first one, when the first one came to collect, and he comes to collect first, the obligation is totally to him. He takes precedence. He is the older one, he has the older debt, he takes everything. Kulam Shabbatim L'Rishayna. He never paid all 5 to the first one, which was what he was supposed to do. He only paid 4. Now he gets wealthy. He has to pay the first one 50 coins. Well, he paid 4, 46 coins. The second one, he was Yaitza, because the second one he paid whatever he had. Boy Ravada Barav. Now Ravada Barav has a question. He does it in one shot. He says, 2 erachin on me. B'vasachas, mahu. Does it in one time. Given the vasachas, nadar ki hadi tafsi, yov tarti,